Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Arsenal won, Brentford won yet again. A player scores his first goal for his new club, and it's not enough to get the win because the other team bounces back and gets a goal back. I mean, Arsenal, is it 2 points dropped? Is it a point gain? I think both sides can legitimately claim that they could have won this game. I think at the end of this game, you would say, yes, I think both teams could have won because Brentford had a couple of very good chances in the first half. Toney hitting the crossbar. I thought Arsenal were a little bit better in the second half, and they probably deserved their lead when they took it. And they might feel hard done by as well that they didn't hold on to it. But overall, I think if you look at the context of the season, I do feel Brentford are a team that are going to take points off of the big clubs. They've done that against all the big clubs pretty much. And I think they will do that. They'll continue to do that. So I don't think a point against Brentford is too bad. But I think it's 3 points that they would have wanted because they're going into a big clash against Manchester City. And what you want is a situation where you build momentum for that. And this game will probably derail some of that, particularly as it comes after the Everton result. Had they won that game, then I think you would have said, yeah, okay, 1 point against Brentford, not too bad. Most teams are going to drop points. But because they lost that game, so coming into this game and not being able to pick up the 3 points, particularly at home, will be a little bit frustrating for Arsenal. But that's how title races are. That's how they ebb and they flow. And now City have got a chance to go to once again do what they couldn't do last weekend, which is capitalize on Arsenal slip. Hopefully they can do it tomorrow when they can win and get the 3 points. But definitely the ball is now Manchester City scored again. As far as the game is concerned, I mean, I was very impressed with Odegaard's performance today. I think he was really good in the passing, and then what he did. There were quite a couple of occasions where he actually made the right pass, and it was just a matter of like after that. The decision making after that wasn't on the same level, so they struggled with that. Got a bit of thing with my hair there, so I thought Odegaard played well, and that goal again comes from his vision and his passing. Because you watch that pass, it is such a beautiful pass inside the channel, and it's about the run. But Saka makes a very good run, but it's a brilliant pass from Odegaard to go right. He's going to make that one. I've got to feed it perfectly to him because that pass, if it is overhit, Saka doesn't get onto it. If it's under hit, he doesn't get the cross in the way that he wants, because everything is about timing sometimes. It's such a beautiful pass, and Saka makes a nice cross, and then Trossard is there to finish up. It wasn't exactly a tap in for Trossard because he still had to kind of control and make sure that he gets it on target, but it was as good, as easy a finish as you probably would expect to get. And he made sure that he got that goal, and it will be a welcome goal for Trossard. I do think he has been okay in the last couple of games, I think, but this goal now will give him confidence. And I think with Martinelli kind of slowing down a bit, maybe it's time for him to get some starts and maybe just put that pressure on Martinelli to regain his level. So good goal. And I thought at 1-0, I thought Arsenal would have gone on to win it, because that and I thought to myself, if Arsenal win this game, that's when they can show that they've got that championship mentality. Because sometimes because games like these, if you can win them, where this is a team that has been taking points over big clubs, you get 3 points. That gives you an edge. That gives you that feeling of, right, this is our season, because we're getting points in these kind of tough games. But he couldn't hold on. Arsenal just couldn't do it. And I thought that goal from Brentford was typical Brentford, isn't it? The way that they're physical, they've got the ability, just fighting for that goal. Because remember that there was so many other teams could have probably just been like, this is not a good pass, let me just give it up. But they didn't. They just kept heading it everywhere, wherever they could. They just tried to keep it alive for as long as they could, to get into a position from where they could make something of it. And the way that I believe it was Norgaard, but it could have been someone else, because I think it was Norgaard. Norgaard was the one, I think, who just hooked it. And correct me if I'm wrong, because because we didn't get to. There's so many people in the box, I just couldn't tell who it was, and the commentators weren't clear as to who it was. But Norgaard, with that flick that he made, or whoever made that flick, but I'm assuming it's Norgaard, made that flick over Ramsdale. That was the key moment, because I think Ramsdale, what may have been a little bit too casual. I think it was, it's coming to me and I'm just going to catch it. He wasn't as proactive. And I think Norgaard said, oh yeah, I'm just going to flick it. And he flicked it. And it goes in front. And then, Toney has a simple tap in to go, there you go, thank you very much. And he scores the goal. At first I thought it was an own goal, actually, because that was how crowded it was from a far angle. But when you see the close-up, I saw, yeah, Toney scores that goal. What a season he's having, by the way. Ivan Toney, 14 goals this season, has been a thorn in the side for a lot of big teams. Will he get a big move in the summer? It'll be an interesting one to watch. He's one of those under the radar strikers that somebody might want to take a punt on. It all depends on the price. But nonetheless, it was a good goal. It was 1-1. I think Arsenal will be frustrated with that. They would really be frustrated with this result, because I think that when you go ahead in a game like this, it's imperative that you make sure that you don't concede, that you try and see the game out from that point. You just try and get the 3 points, because they were never going to score a second goal in this game unless Brentford really opened up and on a counter. But otherwise, they were not going to create a second goal. So what they had to do was at that point was just keep it tight, get a 1-0 and get out of there, kind of thing. But they couldn't hold on, sadly. They tried. They tried after that, but just it lacked the conviction. I think just lacked conviction in that. And I think one of the key points for me, I think, was Eddie Nketiah. And I thought today was one of those games where I thought Nketiah he looks like a limited striker. Now he's a good goal scorer. He gets goals, but there were a couple of moments when I think there was particularly one moment where I think he could have played in a pass. It was on the left. I think it was Martinelli. He could have played a pass in. He delayed until he was left by himself, and the Martinelli kind of just given up on the run, and he was offside, and he just didn't have anything else to do, and he just lost the ball. So I think that for me is a big issue with Nketiah. I do believe that he's someone who's more clinical than Gabriel Jesus. Jesus misses a lot of chances, but what Jesus offers is that all-round play that Nketiah cannot hope to match, and I don't know if he will ever be able to match that. And I think that's what they miss with Gabriel Jesus. Maybe in a game like this where it's more physical, it's more about grafting, more about being imaginative, creating chances, then maybe Gabriel Jesus would have been a good fit. But that's what they have to do, and that's how they have to figure that out. But I thought Nketiah today, he showed his limitations. And he showed why Arsenal were rightly afraid of what was going to happen with Jesus out. Again, did anyone play badly for Arsenal? I mean, I don't. I mean, Martinelli was pretty poor today. I thought. Again, it's like those kind of games where you have sixes and 5.5s and sixes. Nobody's shockingly bad, but then nobody really steps up. Maybe Odegaard was the only one who kind of stepped up and tried to take the game by the reins, but he couldn't quite do it himself. But it's one of those games where you need more people to step up, and I don't think that happened today. But it's 2 points dropped, and in some ways, it is 2 points dropped. In some ways, it is a point gain, and it is frustrating for Arsenal. How does that impact the title challenge? I don't think it's a big. It's not catastrophic because it's Brentford. They're going to take points from big teams, so you can't expect that. They might very well go ahead and take 2 points from Manchester City as well. They've beaten them, by the way, in the Etihad, so there's no reason why they can't beat them again or why they can't get a point from them. So I don't think it's a catastrophic result. The problem is the fact that they lost to Everton. That makes it a bit of a bad result because of that. Because now they've lost 5 points out of 6. So that's the thing. But you know what? Right now, City don't worry about that. The destiny is still in their own hands. They've just got to go and do the job at Manchester City, and things will be fine. So that's what Arteta has got to focus on, is that this is not the kind of game that City are going to play. City are very different. And they've just make sure that they're set up for that one, and focus on that. That's what they've got to do now. They've just got to keep moving forward and not worrying too much about what's happening. There are areas of concern, of course, but at the same time, at the moment, I think they just need to knuckle down and go, right, this is what we've got to do, and this is how we're gonna get through this. So every team has that. Every team has a blip. That no team in any season, no league winning team in any season has never had a blip. It always happens, and it's happened to Arsenal now. It's about the ones that win titles are the ones who overcome that blip and still go on and go on that run regardless. So that's what Arsenal, we'll see whether Arsenal can do that. Anyway, let me know your comments, of course, and what you thought about the game. What do you think of Arsenal's title chances? I still think that they're in a good space, but I know panic sets in, right, when you get a bad result or two. So let me know what you think. Of course, do smash like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. We're close to 100 followers on Facebook. Please help us cross that landmark by following us. Links in the description below, of course. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.